We take a thinner and see what green color turns out. I didn't wash the brush normally, didn't clean it. Now I will rub it well so that it becomes clean. You can wash it with detergent to keep it clean. Since we have no time to wash with detergent, we simply wipe it with solvent and a napkin. Closed. So, if you get such a light green, then it's okay. It will look fine just on a green petal. So, we remove the excess and go along the back of the leaf. Light white color. Black is obtained. Now we need green. See, it dried up. The solvent weathered where it was applied. It is alcohol or acetone based and dries quickly. Therefore, we also need to add Now we will apply. We remove excess. We get the paint thicker. We are not afraid we go through large strokes on the leaf. To fully apply, paint it over, so what did we do? It can be seen a bunch of strokes. To prevent it, use your finger gently while applying the paints. We will now correct it. If you feel too much paint in the process, wet or too much of its fat, then use a napkin. We don't need extra paint. If there is a large layer of paint, then it will take a long time to dry. Oil paint doesn't dry out quickly, only if with special solvents that dry it. We practically drove out first layer. Light enough turns out. Next, we take the paint and apply another layer so that it is saturated. The drawing of the leaf is preserved. It is clearly visible. There are no streaks. It is convenient for me to apply with finger. You control the process better than with a sponge. The sponge still leaves strokes. It is thin, so we applied. I think 2 layers are enough. We take carmine, remove excess, and walk along the edge to the very teeth. So, and on the other hand, if it turns out that comes on the leaf, it's okay. Sometimes there are reddish spots here when the leaves are already withering. Then it is normal. We went over the teeth, and now we will make the fold more red. We walk carefully. The main thing is that it should be natural, not a transition, extra pieces. Done. The shank will be tinted after assembly. We will collect the leaves and tint the stalk. The stem. We forgot to walk on the reverse side. Now let's walk through the drawing. A little so that there is no extra paint, and the red paint for a better effect. Here's the drawing turned out. What do we get? The leaves have dried after toning. How did leaves dry? Partially, not completely. The paint is dry, but it can be collected. What are we doing? We take the floristic tape, which we cut in half. We have such a piece left. We take the central large leaf and begin to fasten the leaves to it, which are smaller. We will screw it at this distance. So, we try it on. We take glue. We apply it carefully and begin to wrap the floristic tape. Press at the base to grab with your finger. We'll make one turn. You can make a pair to hold better. We take the second leaf and do the same. You can draw on a little so that the correct frame is accepted, and we tie. We will glue a little to fix the leaves so that they do not dangle. We will go through with glue where the floristic tape is. You can use super glue. I will use latex one. I'll make a skein. Now, we connect all the wires to the end of the floristic tape. If you took a thick wire, then you should cut it approximately at this distance. We'll have to cut if the wires are thick, so that the stem is not thick. The stem is thin enough. It looks normal. We strapped. What do we do next? Now we need to roll clay in the places where we wrapped it with the floristic tape. We take a small piece of clay, also green, from which we made the leaves. We take the glue, coat it, and begin to gently roll back our stem with clay. Stretch the clay from top to bottom. We do it carefully so that everything is evenly. We'll fix everything now. If you see a little wire, it's okay. We will still tint green, somewhere red with carmine. So, about it. We don't need to make a branch too long. The rose isn't large and the branch isn't need to be large. We remove excess clay, we do not need it. So what? To make it smoother, no matter how hard we tried, the wave bent. We take water, moisten our fingers gently and use wet fingers to walk over the clay. We press gently, lightly and smooth out at the same time all the waves that we got. It turns out that the stem is smooth, so that it is without unnecessary flaws, prettier, more regular in shape and more straight. Here's what happened. We leave it to dry. These leaves that we made together with you, and I also made one more branch with leaves. The same. Also a large leaf and two small ones, which will be in the middle. And I decided to make one more small petal of mint. We do it very simply, just like these leaves, only slightly reduced the size and made a small dent, as if the petal was crumpled. To create such liveliness of the branch, the process is the same. We take the floristic tape, we fasten it. We take a leaf and bend it. We do everything the same. We take the floristic tape, press it, make a coil, take the second leaf, bend it and fasten it. The glue is necessary. We process. We attach it. We are not winding up to the end because there will be another leaf. Then we will screw it on and we will have it at such a distance. We will have one more additional leaf. So it can be cut, the extra wire. We take the nippers and cut so that there is nothing unnecessary. We do everything the same. We take a small piece of clay, take latex glue, coat it a little and roll it in. Carefully. We do everything the same. We do it as carefully as possible with twisting movements. Not too long. We remove excess clay. Probably that's enough. Now I'll try it on. It will be great. We take water, wash it in here. Wash up and leave it to dry. When it dries up, we will fasten another leaf. While the leaves dry up, we will make a bud. We take just such a basis. This is a foam base. It is in different sizes. I have this size, small one. Let's make a bud. What are we doing? Since it is without a wire, I poke a hole with a stack, insert an 0.95 mm wire. It is more dense. Make a hook like this with pliers, pierce it, and make such a base. Everything is perfectly captured. Now the foam bud is holding onto the wire. What do we do next? We need to make a completely closed bud. We'll have a closed bud. We make sepals which will completely cover the foam base. Let's start doing. We take clay, green light. We take a small piece of clay. There should be small sepals and we will print roses on the banner. We make a drop from the ball and stretch it on the hand with a stack. Roll it out. We cut it. We remove the excess clay so it doesn't dry out. It will still be useful for us. We put the base on the banner, press it, create the texture and remove from there. What do we do next? We take a stack with balls and, as the sepals were made, roll it. You can make sure that the texture is not lost. We need this drawing. We process it right in the banner. We put the banner, hold it with your finger and press with a ball. Roll it out. The whole drone has been preserved. Now we make a clamp here, we pinch. Now we need to make antennae, small leaves, so that it looks more natural. These are the antennae turned out. You can even do more in quantity. What are we doing? We take a stack and roll these antennae a little with light pressure so that it becomes not just flat but transparent, like this. Pinch this upper tail a little so that it folds. These antennae, which we rolled in a stack, they can still be trimmed so that there are a thin little antennae. You may not be so scrupulous about it. The smaller, the more natural it looks. Let's try. This is how it will be. We will make 5 sepals like this. They will repeat the shape of the droplet, the bud. We make 5 pieces. I will make one with you. When they are ready, we will dry it. You don't even need to dry, because while we are doing the rest, the first will dry out. It won't be soft as it was originally. Clay dries quickly when it is exposed to air. Cut out again. We make such a beautiful drop. We take a veiner. It can be shaped with fingers, check mark, triangle. We print. Now we will roll it with a ball and then we will do the same in the veiner. A small indentation that will repeat the base. We make this spot in veiner in order to keep drawing. This is important while tinting. Do tucks with fingers, smooth it. We take the scissors and continue the same procedure. Cut out the antennae, 1, 2, and here 1, 2, small ones turn out. No matter, they should differ from each other. They cannot be absolutely the same. So, and now we will rend this with a light touch. I use fingers. Someone is doing it on the palm. You have better control with fingers. It is more convenient. We'll go through these additional tendrils with scissors. Grab it here. Here's what happened. Leave it to dry. Now I will make 3 more of these, in order not to occupy the video, and then we glue them and see what happens. Sepals are dry, they're all ready. We take latex adhesives and start gluing. We take from a small leaf. Lubricate the base and apply it like this to our foam bud and glue it. The top doesn't need to be glued. Grab here. We take the next one and we will glue all 5 pieces in this way. Probably it is better to glue it to make it more. We'll do it like this. Stick one opposite the other, and the others will overlap. We take one more. The main thing is that there are no empty spaces so that the form bud isn't visible. All petals, sepals should be pressed together, sweetie. So, press here. We apply. If the glue has come out somewhere, it is better to wipe it off with a damp cloth. The last one stayed. Somewhere it will need to be additionally glued so that the form isn't visible. And here. The base is glued and we look. If you look closely, you can see the form. Therefore, we will grab here and make shape with our fingers. We form a band, somewhere a fold, so that it is not visible. Everything is ready. It can't be seen anymore. You can bend the additional antennae so that they stick out to the sides if necessary. We fix everything so that nothing goes away. Here's what we got. Here's a bud. Next, we need to make the leg itself. Let's roll the stem. How do we do it? I'll show you now. We take a small amount for the entire stem. Here is a pea, 1.5 centimeters. We take glue, cord the beginning of the wire. Capture the place where the sepals. What are we going to do? A small cake, apply like this. Create a shape. You need to make a ball at the top. Not a ball, how to say, so that you can see how the buds of roses have it all. Not just a flat and straight stick, but a thickening at the base. We need to create this thickening. Next, we stretch the clay gently. A very long stick doesn't need to be done. Branch is less, since I make 2 buds. We do one together with you, the other is the same, but the branch will be slightly longer. We will have them attached to one branch at the base, together with the leaves. I'll show you how it's done. Let's try together. We run in. Now we take water. There is no way without water, to keep everything smoothly. We work carefully so that there are no wrinkles, crumbled clay. All faults, bumps will be visible while toning. Let's make a more beautiful version by gently smoothing. Here's what happened. If excess water has entered, then it must be removed. Here's a bud. I made the same bud where the branch is longer. 2 buds are ready. We did one together with you, the other is exactly the same. Now we will tint it. This is already dried bud. Now we will do toning. Let it dry. We will collect the remaining leaves before we start toning. Leave the bud to dry. I completely forgot that we didn't finish the leaves. They've dried up already. We haven't glued this little leaf yet. Now we will do this. Then we will tint the leaves, twigs. We take, apply it carefully. A small piece of floristic tape is enough. The same. Press gently. You can go straight through. A little. We wrap, we go down, roll the stem. Next you need to process. Let's roll it to this level, about 2 centimeters. We will not do this. The stalk of the branch shouldn't be longer than necessary. We'll make it shorter like a real rose. Apply clay. The same. Wrap it with glue, then the clay will hold better, even if it's sticky. Better to do better. It happens that the clay is sticky, sticks to the wire itself, rolls well, but it can move away over time. Better to use glue. Now let's do this. Until here, we remove the surplus. Again, we align the stem with the help of water. We iron everything. You can use silicone brushes. You can use your fingers. Silicone brushes are not really needed. Here's what we got. Leave to dry. While everything dries, we will do the tinting. We will tint the bud and then screw it to our rose.